Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK. Back at you with another video here to rate in the 5-game NBA main slate on Thursday. Before I get into the video, if you guys are new to the channel, my name's DK. I make daily videos and live stream for NBA and NFL slates on Draftkings. I want to thank you guys again, seriously, for continued support. Closing in right now on 8,000 subscribers. So if you do enjoy this content, if you could leave a like button on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you don't upload videos you don't go live. That would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Let's aim for 300 likes on this video, guys. If you cannot watch these videos, I do upload an Apple Podcast. I have a link down below. If you're interested in signing up for premium content, now offer that on patreon.com. Couple different packages for esports, NBA, NFL. So you guys are interested, also link down below. And finally, again, I want to thank PrizePicks for sponsoring the show. If you guys are familiar, if not familiar, if you're seeing this for the first time, what PrizePicks is, again, it's a site where you're betting on, fantasy projections, right? So you're taking over-unders on fantasy points here. So, for example, upcoming game here, Brandon Ingram's projected for 44 fantasy points. Do you like the under? Do you like the over? And you can mix and match sports. You can play NFL, NBA, PGA, esports. So if you guys, if you want to sign up, you can use the code DKDFS. That's DKDFS, all one word. Link down below. You get a 100% match up to $100. You put $100 in, you get $200 to play with. But yeah, with that all out of the way, let's jump in the video. So before we talk about players and their prices for this 5-game slate, let's take a look back in the lineup here from Wednesday. So Wednesday off to a pretty decent start here. So I have Luka Doncic, Bruce Brown, Brandon Ingram, James Johnson, DeAndre Jordan, NAW, KD, and De'Aaron Fox. So I was really hammering home just the stars and scrubs build. It made sense in this slate with all the value opening up for Brooklyn. Once again, right, Brooklyn is pretty similar to Miami last night, right? You wanted some Brooklyn exposure. My 3 favorite plays from Brooklyn for value were Bruce Brown and DeAndre Jordan, and KD at the top. Obviously, the blowout hurt KD. Probably would have won for over 50 if the game stayed close, but he was almost 80% owned in this tournament. Here, I can move out of the way so you guys can see the points for a couple seconds here. But yeah, it's looking pretty decent. Then I got Ingram, NAW, and De'Aaron Fox in the late game. So we'll see how it finishes up. But right now, looking in pretty decent shape. So hope you guys had a good night as well. And let's see if we can keep it rolling here for this 5-game slate on Thursday. I should probably go. I was making esports content. I should probably go to NBA here. Let's see if we got any Vegas odds out for these games. All right. So Hornets Raptors is a 221 over under. Raptors are 8-point favorites. Warriors and Nuggets are 229 over under. The Nuggets are 5-point favorites. And Pacers, Blazers are 230 over under. The Blazers are 1.5-point favorites. So let's go team by team, and we'll start with Miami. And this Miami team is really depleted once again. Basically, everyone that was out last game is once again out. Right? Everyone. Myers Leonard is doubtful. Don't expect him to play. So should be 1, 2, 3. Vincent's probable. 4, 5, 6. 7, 8 players healthy. So they're going to have an 8-man rotation. They're going to be really, really thin. So hard for me not to like Tyler Hero at 7.3K. He had a slow start to that game. Sure, overtime did help. But he's just going to lead this offense. And again, he had a slow start. I expect him to come out more aggressive in this game. And with there being only 8 healthy bodies, he's going to have to play big minutes. Now, again, the question is, would he be a guy that gets pulled in the case of a blowout? Again, it's tough, right? Iguodala would be the first guy that gets pulled, and then probably Kelly Olynyk, and then one of Hero versus Duncan Robinson probably get pulled. I would guess it would be Hero because I think they value him more than Duncan Robinson. But again, that's a tough question. Either way, though, again, I really like the Hero's upside, and if you think this game can stay competitive, he's a guy you're going to want exposure to here at 7.3K. Kelly Olynyk, sure, the price came up. I think that'll lower the ownership. I still like him. This is a guy that can still go for 40 plus. He should play huge minutes as long as this game stays close. He's a good 3-point shooter. He can stuff the stat sheet. He went for 15, 8, 4, 1, and 2 in the last game. So even at this elevated price, I think Kelly Olynyk firmly in play. Duncan Robinson is just a matter of the minutes will be there. It's just a matter of will he hit his shots, right? 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block. He's not going to do a ton of rebounding and assists. He's more out there for shooting. So he'll play huge minutes. It's just a matter of does he hit his shots. And if he is hitting his threes, the upside is 40 plus. So Duncan, yeah, firmly in play. And then we have Precious Achiuwa at 4.2K. I think that's a little bit underpriced. He played 36 minutes. Now, sure, 31 in regulation. I am a little bit worried with him guarding Embiid, right? The foul trouble. He did do a good job staying out of foul trouble, but we saw Chris Silva off the bench foul out. So, little worried about him getting in foul trouble against Joel Embiid, but 4.4K makes him a solid value as well. Iguodala is the one guy that I'm like, only played 22 minutes, so he's not going to play a ton. Like, I think he's okay, but I don't think he plays huge minutes. Gabe Vincent at 4.2 played big minutes. I like him for value. Again, he should start again and probably play 30-plus minutes. Chris Silva was having a decent game and then fouled out off the bench. He's a good point per guy. I think he's an interesting pivot off of Achiuwa. I think Achiuwa will be pretty popular again. I think you can look to Chris Silva as a pivot. And then finally, Max Strus at 3.1. Not as excited about him. Only played 24 minutes. Going a little bit score independent. So that's it. Really, basically everyone besides Strus, I have interest in a Miami side. So, and Iguodala is like a fringe play. So really, those other 6 guys, I think look really good. And you're definitely going to want Miami exposure once again. Whether you think the game stays close, if you think it stays close, you're going to want to target guys like Hero, Olynyk. If you think the game blows out, more of those younger guys like Vincent, Strus, Chris Silva, right? Let's move on to Philly. So Philly's going to get a little bit healthier. Ben Simmons is probable. Tobias Harris is probable. And where is he? Shake Milton is probable. So that really takes everyone else out of play for me. The value guys for Philly are out of play. Tobias and Ben Simmons themselves, I think, are fine. The guy that obviously is in play here is Embiid at 10K. Absolutely smashed the last game. I told you guys I made a mistake. If I play Embiid over Steph Curry yesterday, I win a GPP. So made a mistake there. Obviously, the Steph floor game hurt. I still cashed easily in tournaments, but man, thinking back on it, I was like, I played 5 guys from Miami. Why would I not have ran it back with Embiid? That was a mistake on my part, and I fully admit that. But yeah, Joel Embiid, again, matchup like Achiuwa, Olynyk, Chris Silva. He's just going to be able to feast. Even with Tobias Harris back and Shake Milton back, the offense still runs through Embiid. So upside is really, really high in Joel Embiid. Ownership will go up on him, but I still like him as a play at the top. Let's move on to Charlotte. So Charlotte's a team I don't have a ton of interest in. Gordon Hayward left that game tonight and did not return. So that leads me to believe I don't think he'll be available for tomorrow. So if he's out, could get some value here. I assume it would be Miles Bridges that picks up the start. If Miles Bridges starts, we probably get over 30 minutes from him. He would be a potential value play, even in not really the best matchup. LaMelo's always in play for GPPs. He kind of had a floor game tonight, but we know the upside is there. Prices, again, continuing to come up on him. A guy like PJ Washington might play a few extra minutes here. Again, 6'3", they're fine. I just don't like the Hornets. Like the Hornets and the Jazz are teams I never like seeing on the slate. No one really stands out here. Again, possibly Bridges if Hayward is out. Maybe we can take a shot on PJ Washington. The guards are just hard to trust with Graham, Rozier, LaMelo up and down. LaMelo's flashed the most upside, but he's almost 8K now. So it's just like, and then the value, like maybe you can play one of the Martin twins or McDaniels, but I don't think we have to go there. I think there's probably a better value on the slate. So let's move on to Toronto. It's a good spot here. So the top 3 guys are really, really solid here. Siakam, Van Fleet, Lowry. All 3 play huge minutes in competitive games. This is a good spot. So I think all 3 of those guys are solid. Nothing downside or nothing bad to say other than they're all priced above 8K. But yeah, I think definitely if this game stays close, at least one of those guys will have a good game. The guy that I really like in GBPs, and the guy I've been hammering down to play in GBPs for the last couple weeks is Chris Boucher. The minutes are going up on him. 29, 24 when he fouled out, and then 32 that last game. So if he's going to play over 30 minutes, love Chris Boucher. And I think he would be someone that if the game blows out, he might play a bit in the blowout. So I love Boucher here in GPPs. Love him. Again, he's an amazing point per guy. Great shot blocker. Last 3 games, 3, 6, and 3 blocks. So averaging like 4 blocks a game. Again, fantastic matchup. I love Chris Boucher here for GPPs. The other plays, like OG's at 5'8", it just, sure, you can play him, but not really excited about it. Norman Powell at 4'9", not enough minutes for me to get excited about it. So that's really it for Toronto. Again, they run a pretty tight rotation. Let's move on to Houston. So Houston's definitely a team you're going to want exposure to as well tomorrow. So James Harden, traded. John Wall, out. Eric Gordon, questionable. If Eric Gordon is out, Christian Wood at 7.7K is going to be one of the most popular plays in the slate, but gotta like him, especially if either way, I like him with Harden and Wall out. This guy has a ton of upside. This is a great matchup too. I'm not really scared of like LaMarcus Aldridge or Jakob Poeltl defense. So Christian Wood should be able to feast here as long as he stays out of foul trouble. I really, really like Christian Wood. Now Eric Gordon's at 5'1". If he does play, I like him a good amount. We'll see if he's available. If he's out, then we got to look to the value, which we'll get to in a sec. But if Eric Gordon plays, I assume he starts, and he would be like the number 2 in the offense behind Christian Wood. So he'd become a really, really good play if he is available. Now, Boogie Cousins, again, he smashed kind of in the blowout that last game, but he's a great point burner guy. I wonder if Eric Gordon is out. They are really thin. Do they run Boogie and Christian Wood together? They might. Maybe. We haven't seen that yet so far this year. But if Eric Gordon is out, they're not going to have many healthy bodies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Will be 10 healthy bodies. So maybe Boogie gets a little bit of run. If they start Christian Wood and Boogie together, again, this is a slim chance, but if they do, I would really like both of them. If they just start Wood and Boogie continues to just back up Wood, then he's just more of a contrarian GPP play. But then, the value, PJ Tucker, I don't have a ton of interest in him. It would be guys like Ben McLemore. I know this is gross, but Ben McLemore, Jayshawn Tate, David Nwaba, Sterling Brown. I think if Eric Gordon is out, you want to pick at least 1 or 2 of these guys and get him into your lineup. Ben McLemore at 3-4, he's a good shooter. This guy has upside. He'll probably have to play big minutes. David Nwaba, aggressive player. He's a guy that can get you some blocks and steals. I think he would be firmly in play. Sterling Brown, a good scorer, right? It's all these guys that would have to play huge minutes if Eric Gordon is out too. So those 4, it's McLemore, Tate, Nwaba, Sterling Brown. If Eric Gordon is out, I would pick at least one of those guys and get him into your lineup, right? Because the offense is going to be Christian Wood and then these guys. So it's a good matchup too. So that's kind of how I feel about Houston. Definitely going to want some exposure there. On the San Antonio side, if DeMar DeRozan plays, there's not a ton I love. I mean, it is a good matchup. The issue I have with the Spurs are they are very balanced, right? So any of these guys can have big games, like DeRozan if he plays, Murray, Aldridge, Keldon Johnson, Lonnie Walker, Patty Mills, all up and down. So it's if DeRozan is out, you can take a shot on one of these guys in the mid-range. It is a really good matchup. So I'm fine going to 1 or 2 of these guys in GPPs. But does one really stand out here? If DeRozan plays, not really. Even if DeRozan's out, Aldridge is probably the safest. He's had 38 and 41 in back-to-back games. And Murray and Keldon have been up and down. Lonnie's been up and down. So it's hard for me to get really, really excited about these Spurs guys. Sorry, it's a couple minutes until lock, guys, so I just want to make sure there's no random news that I'm missing for the slate tonight because the games are locking in 2 minutes. Okay, we're good. I just wanted to confirm that. Okay, so that's kind of how I feel about the Spurs. If you land on one of these guys, they're fine, but no one really stands out here, even in a good spot. Let's go on to Golden State, Denver. So, Steph Curry. Now, really let me down again, was on pace to win huge money, and he just has this floor game, 34 fantasy points. What can you do? But they ran a box and 1 zone on him, so the Pacers defense was to stop Steph Curry. So that did hurt him. 9.7K ownership is going to be low on him, right? People are going to look at those box scores and see 29, 34, and he does have a somewhat low floor. But the ceiling is also 60, 70 plus when he's getting it going. I don't mind the matchup here against Denver, so I still like Steph Curry in GPPs. I think he does have some upside here. He will be lower owned. Wiggins had a big game last game because that defense was just to stop Steph. You guys know my rule. I do not play Andrew Wiggins. Now, I will admit, he actually is playing decent, but 5 blocks, 4 blocks, we're not going to get that most nights. So I think he's fine if you landed him, but I just don't play him. Draymond Green's at 5.4K. I think he's a decent play. Should play about 30 minutes. I think he is slightly underpriced and he can stuff the stat sheet. So I think he's fine. Oubre, would rather play Draymond. Wiseman, this is a big Denver team, so he probably has to play more minutes. Played 26 at last game against the Pacers. You could take a shot at him in GPPs. Pascal is back. So it just, the rest of Golden State are kind of stayaways. On the Denver side, Jokic and GPPs, I think looks really good at 11K. If you can get to him, right? 11K is a lot, but fantastic matchup here. No one on Golden State can stay with him. So if you have enough, if you feel comfortable with enough of the value plays, I do like Jokic a good amount. Jamal Murray's an okay contrarian play, but he hasn't really flashed ceiling recently. Will Barton with Michael Porter Jr. out, I think is a decent play. Should play over 30 minutes, mid 30s minutes if the game stays competitive. I think he's a fine play in the mid range. Gary Harris is out. Can we talk about how Gary Harris, a shooting guard, is out, and they start Bull. Coaches, I swear, just troll us on purpose. Min-price Bull. I would probably rather prefer other value plays. Guys like Dozier played more minutes. He didn't do a ton with them, though, with Gary Harris out. So, you can play one of those guys, but I think there's better value, right, with with Houston, with Miami, right? So I just don't think we have to go there. Let's finish up with the Pacers in Portland. So Pacers, Oladipo got traded. Sabonis kind of had a floor game, only 46 fantasy points that game against Golden State. Brogdon also did too. Brogdon had a terrible shooting game, 5 of 18. I'm fine going right back to the wall with both these guys. I think you could play both if you want to. I love Sabonis here in a great matchup against Portland. Up-tempo game. I love Brogdon too at 8-3. Bad shooting game. I'm not worried at all. I'm not worried in the least bit in either of these guys. No Oladipo. Offense is going to run through those two. Really like Sabonis and Brogdon. I think you can make an argument for Miles Turner too. And the reason I say that, he played 42 minutes last game. He was a guy that was playing like, low 30s minutes, just out of nowhere, 42 minutes. So if they're going to play Miles Turner over 40 minutes, I think you've got to have interest in him. Now, will we get those minutes again? I'm not sure. Portland is a bigger team, though, with Nurkic and with Cantor. So maybe we get good minutes again from Turner. I think he would be okay. So it's just a matter of, does he get those minutes again? The value here is tough. Still no, again, TJ Warren out for the season. Like, both Holidays, they're up and down. McDermott's up and down. They have McConnell back, Edmund Sumner. So, like, yeah, Aaron Holiday had the big game last game, but he also has a really low floor, right? I played, I think this game got me 6 fantasy points. So it's like, floor is somewhat low on him. Price up to 4.5. I think he's a decent play, but they're going to go with the hot hand, right? Justin Holiday had played big minutes previous games, then only played 29 minutes. McDermott got in foul trouble. Edmund Sumner started, played 30. Like, you can take shots in these guys. McConnell's back. I might prefer the value with Houston, and I might prefer the value with Miami to these guys. I'm not saying these guys are out of play. They're just a little riskier. Let's finish up with Portland. So you guys know where I'm going with this. Curious to see how he plays tonight against Sacramento, but 5-3, 5.3K for Yusuf Nurkic. Yeah, you guys know what I'm doing with him. I will be playing him as long as he plays normal minutes tonight and does not aggravate an injury or something. That is too cheap for Yusuf Nurkic. Damian Lillard, CJ at 9-3 and 8-4 respectively, definitely viable. Not really the best spot, but they're good GPP contrarian plays. Cantor's the only guy I would look to if like Nurkic gets injured or something. Like, then I would look to Enes Kanter. The wings, there's too many wings for me to get excited about any of them. Melo would be the guy if I had to pick, but don't think we have to go there on the slate. And that's really it for the video today, guys. So if you have been enjoying the content so far, I would really appreciate it if you leave a like button on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you don't upload videos you don't want to go live. Again, guys, I want to thank you again for the continued support. It's greatly, greatly appreciated. But I will see you guys all in the live stream tomorrow. So thanks again, and see you guys later.